Okay, so now it's the next day. Yeah, I put it up on YouTube, whatever. Because they want to break up my book, right? Beat down my spirit. Make me give up and walk away. Put my tail between my legs and boo! Whatever. This is important. So here's the drill. This is what's going to happen today. I have to work on being more frugal, spreading out what I have in terms of fresh fruit, frozen fruit, that kind of stuff, so that it's not so expensive, because we all know that things are getting extremely expensive. And we know how kids are. If you let them go for an inch, they will go for a mile. And then they'll say they didn't do it even though they left all the crumbs behind. And in this case, it would be lemon peel. Well, maybe not the lemon, but definitely the orange peels. So before I allow that to happen, this time around, what I've done is I've scrubbed everything. I've got them here in a big bowl. I'll show you in a second. We're going to start with the oranges and the lemons. I already did the ice, so it's in a nice little container full of different size ice cubes, because back in the day when I used to work with the kids and do park events, you know, I'd bring out coolers and I'd have to get ice, and versus buying ice all the time, I bought tons and tons and tons of ice cube trays. You know, one of those hoarding moments, right? And I'd freeze my own ice cubes in order to accommodate my needs for ice when I needed it for my coolers, for whatever event I was working on at the time. Now, I may have some ice cubes trays still downstairs that's taking up space. But anyway, I found some upstairs in my small bathroom that worked out perfect, and I got a nice full container, right, for that. Andre says, "What are we going to do with that, Nana?" I says, "Well, you like your smoothies, or can make slushies with it, or whatever, right? It's just I got to make sure I have enough room in this little freezer to put ice cubes in, ice cube trays in, as I go along. Now, I have other freezers in the house, but they're full, right? The one downstairs in the quote-unquote where my food prepper is, in part of the living room off to the side there, you know, I've had it forever, that freezer, and it's hard to get to, especially now with what's going on down there. But either or. Oh, okay. I'm so tired. But I'm going to go for the long haul today. I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to rush with this video. It's basically all about food, with a bitch fest here and a bitch fest there, maybe, in terms of just reminding people that, you know, I'm glad I never threw out my ice trays, because I was thinking of buying a ice machine, but they're big and bulky, as if I got any place for it. And for what it's worth, it's just as easy to make them in a freezer like that and put them in a container and you're good to go. So when I say freezer, I just want you to be aware I have other freezers in the house that are basically full. And this is the one that is my main to-go to make ice cream, coconut cream ice cream, have ice cubes, have oranges and lemons available for any kind of vegetable or fruit drink, whether it's a smoothie or just a drink. Like, you know, like myself, after it's all said and done and put away, I plan on juicing some carrots, juicing some celery. I might throw in a lemon piece from the freezer, and or whatever, because, you know, if I buy the oranges, you know, like this, like they, you know, Andre eats pretty fast. And the more you can get value for your money, the better it is, right? So before I start cross-contaminating everything with meat, I'm getting ready. Now, these are my breadcrumbs. So for the chicken McNuggets, you want a few little pieces that are, you know, a little more crunchy, right? Not too big. Okay. So I did not blend them up in that. I just took a rolling pin to them in a bag. And I've got some of those old Chinese breadcrumbs in my bedroom, which I'm going to get. I'm going to add in, and we're going to get to that, okay? So in the meantime, before I start with that, though, I am going to peel all of these. Well, most of them anyway. Probably, because, you know, I'll probably do all the oranges, and then I'll just order another bag of oranges. I'll leave out a couple of lemons, and okay, because I want the peels. You see, that's the thing, right? Because I'm going to cook them up and then dehydrate them to make more of that candy, orange peel, lemon peel, grapefruit peel, whatever peel when it comes to a citrus candy. And the reason that this one over here, when I yesterday pulled a few pieces out, I know why, I know what happened. That container's been sitting there forever, and then in the summertime it becomes like a sauna up here, right? And so, you know, with it sitting there for so long, heating up in a sauna year after year, it compromised one so far. I'm going to get in that thing and I'm going to go through it, and then if there's anything that's sogged up, like, because I don't like it, right? You want them gummy, like a gummy, right? You want them chewy and gummy. And when you get them to that state, you know, as hard as they can get. I have another jar in my bedroom, but because I'm going to be getting into more cooking after this food prep is done, you can take a few of those, chop them up real fine, and put them into your date squares, and you know, you can throw some in with applesauce, and you know, there's things you can put them into cookies, you know, like a butter cookie with little lemon pieces in it that have been candied up, or orange pieces, or whatever, right? I'm not going to worry about separating the two. I'm just going to treat them as the same because I don't got time. So if you're looking to save money and stretch your food, well, this is how you do it. So take off any blemishes that you can see, as if I can see anything, right? After you've washed. And then just, I mean, people know this. This is, but I can't see the line because I can't see, so I can only guesstimate. I don't know, people. I don't like this. I use my finger, see, instead of seeing, I'm feeling the line, so I can gauge. This is where blind people begin to use their other senses to compensate for lack of eyesight. Yeah. You learn to improvise, right? I'm using my nail to gauge the distance between my slices because I personally can't see them. Now these are not thick, but that's okay. They're nice and fresh, right? Have very few blemishes. And then they're breaking up, but that's okay because you're just going to candy them up and put them into other foods as you go. And you jar them up, yeah, so, and then when it comes time, I'll have a big bowl of peels, right? You slice them up, you put them in some water, you boil them, bring them to a boil, you drain the water, you put in more water, you bring them to a boil, you drain the water. They say 3 times, but I do it 2 times, and then on the third boil, right? It's not so much that you bring it to a third boil as you do put a little bit of water in there, and then that's when you start packing in the sugars. And you boil it down, and if you want, you can put a bit more water in there, throw in a bit more sugar, and boil it down. And then once it gets down to that point where it's like sticky and everything, then you put it on a dehydrator. And yeah, because of the sugar content and whatever, the citrus, it takes a while to dehydrate. But I'm telling you, once they're done and you jar them up, they last forever. Just try and store them. I bet you the ones that are in my bedroom, that have not been opened, and I did those ones a few years back, are in really, really, really good condition because my room tends to be cooler, especially at this time of year. And in the summer, last year, I put a fan in there that was blowing out cool air that to keep it just, you know, below a certain temperature, even though we were baking in here. So, yeah. And then learn to incorporate it into your diet, because even though you're boiling 2 or 3 times before you start doing the sugar thing, they're packed full of vitamin C. They just are, right? And then so after you've peeled them, and I'm pretty sure these I've been buying seedless oranges, right?
Need my help?
Huh?
Need my help?
Pardon me?
You need my help?
No, not right now.
Seeds?
No, I said these oranges are seedless. They don't have seeds in them, right?
Last time you bought those, one had seed. So.
They all had seeds, or
No, one.
One had a seed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, these are all going in the freezer anyway, so you got better eyesight than I do. And even if you grounded up a seed in a drink, it wouldn't matter. Now, if you want, now we're going into a touchy subject here. This stuff here, which tends to be a little bitter, I don't know, right? I need a little bowl, just a small bowl, which tends to be a little bitter, has different properties.
There you go.
Thanks.
Can you eat that?
Well, of course. They say you should eat it because...
I never eat it because I never thought you can eat it.
You can, and it's really good for you because it has different properties than the orange itself, where in order to combat infections, whatever those infections may be, to build up your immune system, because of the different properties, I don't know the exact names of them right now, it's ideal to get them into your diet, whether you eat them directly, this part of the orange, right? Some oranges have more, grapefruits have a lot, right? And, you know, the middle part of the orange, right? But because of what they are, they tend to be a little bitter, right? So if you have a lot of that stuff, I mean, you could go as far as taking it all off, gathering it up, dehydrating it, grinding it up, and then you'll have a powder that you can sprinkle it in when you're making date square. You make a big tray of date, like a big 9 by or 8 by 11 date square pan of date squares with the oatmeal and the brown sugar and all of that. A teaspoon or so or more of this grounded up, whatever this is, you wouldn't notice it, but you'd be adding in those extra nutrients, right? Now, I'm just going to break these up as is, and I'm going to put them in the tray, and I'm going to freeze them so that when, because Andre's already asking me if he can make a smoothie tomorrow.
Maybe.
What did I say? No, don't interrupt my...
Maybe on Saturday?
Let me deal with what I'm dealing with for the next 2 days when it comes to meats, lasagna, fruit, dishes, miscellaneous, whatever, before you start bringing in new appliances and making more mess for me. I'm doing the prep work, and he's already drooling. So you can only imagine when I give him the green light to be able to start using it, how fast it can go. But I've already warned him, we need to spread it out and get creative with it. I'm showing you how to get creative with it, okay? To spread it out to help you with your food budget, if you need that consultation in terms of an idea, right? So that's what I'm going to do. So in this situation, nothing will go to waste. Okay. And these freeze nice. And as long as when he goes and does whatever he does, his hands are clean. He uses a spoon for the ice and not start introducing germs. And we'll be rocking. Right? You know? Something like this, after it's dehydrated and grounded up, you make applesauce, you can sprinkle that into the applesauce. You wouldn't even know it, but you'd be getting the nutrients from it. Right? Just dehydrated on low heat. That's all. 15 to 25. And because it's so fine for the most part, it wouldn't take very long to dehydrate. Okay, so let me do this, get that in the freezer, or I'll get it done and then I'll show you. And then we'll put it in the freezer. And then we're going to go on to the meat, because I wanted to do this first before I brought in chicken. And then after I make the chicken McNuggets, I'm going to do them two ways. We're going to make some that we're going to bake and eat right away. We're going to make some that we're going to bake, eat right away, plus after they're cooked, baked, I'm going to freeze some to see how they go into the oven after the fact, frozen, when the kids come over, right? And I'm going to make some raw, and I'm going to freeze them raw, and then bag them up so that I can see how they carry on. I'll freeze them individually, right? Because, you know, I still have a bit of room in there yet. I gotta be careful. And, hell, in 7 months from now, 8 months from now, I'll be getting into my other freezers, and I'll be like, okay, I want more I'm going to can this, I'm going to can that. I'll start canning what's in my freezers downstairs and wherever, right? And my son will go, you told me you weren't canning no more. Like, shut up. Because you know he ain't moving out, right? Oh, lordy, lordy. Okay, so what you're looking at there is $18 worth of lemons and oranges. I just bought them, right? For this purpose. It was, what was it? I think 8 pounds of lemons for imperfect lemons for $10 or something like that. I'd have to double check. And then, of course, we have just our standard little bag of oranges that were for $8. You can see. That's not very much for $18. Andre can wipe out the oranges within 2.5 days, if not sooner. He won't touch the lemons, but this way I'm trying to introduce it into his smoothies, right? One piece at a time. Not only will it be good for him, but it spreads things out. There's the orange peels. I decided to separate them so that when I do them, I'm going to do them separate in separate pots, separate trays, and then jar them up in separate jars. That's the lemons. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to order that again. And I'm going to put this in the freezer right now, let it freeze, and then after it's frozen, I'm going to take a knife to it and break it up a little bit, right? Pack it down a bit more. And then when I get my next batch, which will be tomorrow, I'll use half of the oranges to top this off. And I guess half the lemons to top this off. Or whatever I can fit in here. I don't know. I just want it packed full. Right? And that will go on top of my ice cubes, because I have the same kind of container. And then when the other oranges and lemons come, do it again until it's basically full. Add them, and then add them into this bag. Leave a few out. As they're being peeled, they can go into this bag. And in about 3 days from now or so, I'll make candied orange peels and candy lemons. Right? And then when I start making date bars or whatever, that's when I'll try and chop them up into little pieces or grind them up for flavor or just for the nutrients in terms of the vitamin C, and I'll add them into things. Because that will be my focus. My focus won't be filling up jars with wheat and quinoa and millet and this and that. And I just have to worry about some of that shit ending up in the fucking garage. Who knows? Okay, I'll be back. Oh yeah. And then this little bit, when I'm dehydrating, I will dehydrate that separately by itself. I'll grind it up, put it in a jar and forget about it. And then in 4 years from now, assuming that I can see, I'll be like, do you remember this? Let's see if it's still good after 4 years. Because it's not going to be very much. For what it's worth. But that stuff has different properties in it. That's good for you. Vitamins, different vitamin count. I'm just going to put this. Oh my lord. I put it in a bag that had elastic bands in it. Shit. See? Can't see. Look at that. I thought it was empty. Andre?
Wow.
I need you to come here.
Huh?
I need you to come here. Do you see any more elastic bands in here?
What?
Do you see any more? Yeah, I see some.
Yeah.
I gotta take them out. I didn't realize there was elastic bands in this bag. Do you see any more?
Yeah, I see one more now.
I sure miss my eyesight, people. You don't even know. I'm so mad at this doctor.
No. You're good.
I'm good? Okay. He should never have changed my lens. It was too soon. And he should have gave me the best lens. My dream tried to warn me, right? But I was being pressured, gaslighted. I'm just trying to help you so that, you know, that's what my doctor's telling me. Oh, I'm just trying to help you so that, you know, you can continue your life with your grandkids and raise your grandkids. And I'm like, okay. Even though my instincts were saying otherwise. At least I don't have to live my whole life like this. I got, what was it, 61 years, 62 years out of it in terms of eyesight. So can't complain about that. Some people are born blind. Some people, like Ray Charles, go blind when they're little. Or whatever. Okay, so I'll be back now with the meat. I think I'm going to go order some more oranges and lemons, though, and have a coffee first. And that's another reason why I'm doing this. I was putting lemon in my mouth as I was doing that. And it's giving me a reaction here. I'm allergic to food. Too many years in the yard, people. That's what it was. Anyway, besides that point, I need to start eating lemons, whether it's in drinks or whatever. So hold on. Okay, so I'm back. So now we're starting. So this is chicken that was on sale. It's boneless, I'm sorry, skinless chicken breasts. I don't know if it has the bone in them or not. You gotta watch now because they're starting to bring in their imitation meat being grown in vats. I'm just saying, I don't think that's what this is, but anyway, it was 2 for $20, and because it was on sale, and yeah, I'm thinking about my grandkids, Kyrie and little Leia May and whatever. So I bought that 2 days ago. Now I did place another order in Canadian Superstore, $111. The lemons that I bought were actually 4 pounds imperfect lemons for $8. Today they were on for $7, so I did buy one more of those. I bought another bag of oranges just to top off what I've got in the freezer, right? Right, because I'm trying to build in a budget here, and you know, and right, and they had pork shoulder roast, which is a fatty pork, which is fine because I'm going to be grinding meat anyway. and I got pork chops in there with center cuts with a lot of fat to take the center cuts and grind them up and mix them in with the beef that I got. So what the hell, I'm doing it anyway, right? So I'll probably just grind that up, be done with it when that time comes. It's being delivered tomorrow. And it was $1.99 a pound, and that's the only reason I bought it. And I'm just going to grind it up and put them into bags and freeze them like that, more than likely, as is. Because what I've got in there, I'm going to start grinding after I get this chicken cut up. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to first smell the chicken, because I bought it 2 days ago, right? Walmart is usually pretty good in terms of their meat can maintain for a day or 2 or 3 in the fridge. Beef, we always know, can normally go over a week, right? And my fridge is really, really cold right now. But before I start making the breadcrumbs and cracking eggs and stuff, because I'm going to soak mine in egg first. It smells fine. I don't smell nothing. And even if it was a little smell, I'd rinse off the blood, because it's the blood that's going to start to smell before the actual meat itself, right? Some people, they don't know that, right? They don't. They really don't. In the old days, before there was even refrigeration, and we're talking like in the 1500s and those kind of things, the reason people liked to use spices was to spice up meat that was kind of bad, because they didn't have refrigeration, right? You know what I'm saying? So that smells fine. So what I'm going to do is I am going to soak my chicken after I slice it in egg that's been whipped up a bit. So I'm going to do that first. See, this is where you don't want to just lay down and close your eyes and sleep, because you can't see very well. You know, you get a little dizzy because your eyes aren't working correctly, and just the whole 9 yards. Right? I have my rest time. I'd love to lay down and just forget my problems, but now, you don't have to egg it, but I want to. That's what I'm going to do. And I think I bought some kiwi too. And then I bought some salmon, sockeye salmon in a can. It was $6 a can. You get your optimum points. So I bought $53, so I think that's like 9 cans or something. And that's how you piece in. I don't need pink salmon. I have lots of pink salmon. And I have some old salmon, sockeye salmon in cans, but you know, I like sockeye salmon. And it's expensive. So anytime you can squeeze in a few cans here and a few cans there, before you know it, you'll have a lot of cans. And then it gets to the point where you see it if you're shopping online or you're in the grocery store and you just don't need it. You just walk on by. That's a great feeling. I like that feeling. No, don't need it. No, don't need it. No, don't need it. No, don't need it. That's a really nice feeling when you get to that point. But it takes a long time to get there. In terms of going from, I don't need it, 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 I don't need it. Yeah, maybe I'll grab a bit of that. But other than that, I don't need that over there and I don't need that. That's a big accomplishment. Yeah. So, I'm not even going to rinse this. I'm just going to cut them into strips. Now, I was thinking of, you know those little meat mulcher things? Right? Now, I'm just testing this out. This isn't going to be a big batch, and Andre wants to have some too. And honestly, I'm not really too sure what I'm doing yet. I think I attempted to do these a long time ago, but it's not something that I normally do. Now, in order for the breadcrumb to attach itself better to the meat, what I was thinking, as if I could see what I'm looking for, back to feeling. Andre, maybe you can come in and help me look fast. We need to clean out these drawers. Everything, every now and then, you just got to go in there and rearrange and take everything out. I need your help. Okay, so what I'm looking for, it's like a little hammer that has something like that.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that before.
Yeah, you've seen it before.
On a video. I know what they look like.
You know what it looks like.
Yeah.
I have
cooking videos.
I have several of them, but I haven't used it for so long. I don't know where it is. And I just think if I bang this just a little bit, this drawer here needs to definitely be cleaned out.
Oh, there's a pizza cutter.
And I don't want a pizza cutter. Just remember that, because we're going to be making pizza soon anyway.
Oh, we're just not even throwing trash right now.
Okay, we're not. Andre's getting excited here. Oh, we got this now, we got that. Yeah, cool. We're going to be greasing.
Do you have it like one in here?
What?
Sure, it's like in here somewhere.
Maybe in one of those drawers over there. I bet you they're over on those drawers. Go look. Start on this side first. By the sink. Those drawers. I bet you any money that's where it is. Okay? I'll just keep cutting this right now while I wait for you. Because I think if I bang this a little bit, it will just have the pores for the breadcrumbs to go in between, and it will make the meat softer. Right? You know what I mean? And the flavor will get more into it. Because I don't want to salt the egg. And I'm like, what can I put in there? Right? To flavor up the actual chicken itself. Both sides. I bet you they're in there. They're in there. I know one is in there somewhere. Look on both sides. I don't want to have to go do it. So you get 3 pieces of meat for $10 of chicken breast. unless you can find a better deal someplace else. And this has no bones. So when you're buying like this, you know, people are starting to put the call out saying, you gotta be careful.
Something in here.
Okay, we'll find it, because I'm gonna need it.
I'm trying to grab it.
We'll just move things. Maybe it's stuck underneath the thing there. Try not to make too much of a mess.
I'm trying.
You know, there's lots of fake food on the market, right? People are crooked. Especially when the economy gets real bad. Yeah. These bigger companies, they have a strong hold on shit. So, I know there's something in there.
Does this work? Not really. It's missing the handle, but
Yeah, that will work.
okay.
That's what I want. So, for this situation, versus doing it this way, I don't know. I like the other one better, maybe.
Water is no other one.
All I did was flatten it. All I did was flatten it, so maybe that's not an idea. Well, maybe I can squish it back together. Squish it back together. I don't know. Maybe just hit it once. Maybe just once, just to make it a little more porous, right? I have other little things. I've got this thing in my bedroom. It's got these little sharp things on it. That would probably be better. I don't know. Why is it in my bedroom? Because I thought it could be like for skin, just to, you know, like a form of a massage tool. But I wasn't. Anyway, it's been sitting there for years. That's another thing that's been sitting there for years. So maybe when I'm in my bedroom and I'm up by that way, I'll look for it. Because it has more of a piercing effect than this, right? So one whack each. Because I want my breadcrumbs to have something to cling on to. Right? I don't know what's going on with my eyes, people. I don't know. I don't know if it's because the house is so dry, if it's the eye drops. Definitely the lens. Too much computer. Working, you know, converting videos. Just whatever I do. Order online. Okay, so I'll come back, okay? Hold on. Okay, so now I'm back. I had this in my room. This is all too. I'm pretty sure it's seaweed. I went up over there and I grabbed a couple of these jars, you know, because I'm looking for Italian spice. I found spaghetti spice, but I don't know. I found it in there. I have, like, all over the place. I just don't know where. I can't even see. And sometimes I don't label things. But I'm trying to think what I can do here. I don't want to use quote-unquote salt. Oh, what is this? Looks like seasoning. So this must be for soups or something. Okay, do you see? Something I bought at TNT, obviously a long time ago, right? I'm pretty sure this is seaweed. So if I can just make it a little finer by rubbing it together, I think I'm going to put the seaweed in with the egg and the chicken. I'm not going to use salt because I don't want to draw out the water from the chicken. No, salt would do that, right? It's like if you salt cabbage or cucumbers or something, it just sucks the water out of it. I don't want that. And because this is so fine, it will be mild. Right. I don't want all the flavor just to be on the breadcrumbs. I don't know what I want. So I'm going to taste it. Where's my finger? There it is. It tastes like seaweed. But it's very mild tasting. Just a hint. Obviously, I'm trying to make these nutritional by adding in seaweed, right? Do you like your seaweed chicken McNuggets, LMA? Seaweed! Ew. That's all you have to say, seaweed. Then they won't eat it. If you say, do you like your chicken McNuggets? Yes, Nana, I do. Can I have some more? I'd be sure. So that's not very much. It's just a little bit. I'll put that in there. Why not? And then it's like a little kindred surprise. That looks like oil, right? I think so. So this must have been for noodles or something, but I have like a whole bunch of these, so I bought them like that. So when I go to TNT, I'll make an effort to remember to look for something similar and buy them again, because I don't have that many left. I only have a few. Maybe it's something like 10 or something. We're going to taste this. Could be sesame seed oil. That's what I was going to say. So, it's okay. I'll just put that in there. It's kind of gummy. Whatever. I don't worry about that. I have sesame seed oil if I want to put. And then we've got some spices here. And for what it's worth, that's probably all I need, honestly. I was going to put some of my other ones in something else in there, but I might not have to, because that has a salt in it. Alright. Now my fingers are all sticky from that oil. Should have just left it. Stir that around. So when I'm ready to do these things, I'll put my hand in there. Or I'll just keep stirring it every 10 minutes to really mix it up. I let it sit for about a half an hour. Because honestly, it looks like that egg is really thickening up in there. It's binding, right? It's binding, that's what I wanted. Now, oh God. I gotta go wash this sticky stuff off. Oh man, working with those spices. Okay, so we know we got the breadcrumbs those ones are fresh because that's just recent in the last couple, 2-3 weeks. Whereas these ones are old. These are from T&T, Asian kind of stuff, right? Now I have some of these in a jar, but I can't go hunting for it right now. It's in my room somewhere. It's either in my room or I left them in that pantry. I don't think that's what that is. No, I think that's quinoa there. It's this stuff. Feels like this bag has already been punctured. All right. So what we want to do, oh, now I'm stepping on cooking breadcrumbs. Where did I put that bag? Oh Lord. I should have just left it in the bag. No, it's either I'm stepping on breadcrumbs now. Oh well, I wanted to show you. I had lots of breadcrumbs in jars from when Pastor Granny was giving me bread like no tomorrow. So, they don't really go bad, right? So, before we start, we taste. Well, first we smell. Okay, as long as there's no mold, you're fine. And I don't smell no mold. Now we're going to taste it. Taste one. It has no taste really. It's not bad. Not at all. And I want to use them up because I got a few bags of them, right? From back in the day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a fair amount in combination of these two breadcrumbs. I'm going to spice it, and then I'm going to take some, put it in this bowl, and then bread them in this bowl, and then as I need, I'm going to take from the other bowl with a spoon and put in, right? So that if there's anything left over, I can just bag it up and use it later on. And I bought some zucchinis from Walmart, and they kind of came in, I don't know, they were starting to mold and shit, like from the time I got them, and then I put them in the fridge. Was going to phone them the next day and looked at them in the fridge, and they just deteriorated even more. And I phoned them, I let them know. I said, gee, you guys are usually pretty good, like, what's happening? Right? So when I did my order to get more lemons and whatnot, I got, I think, 15 zucchinis for $1.23 per zucchini or so. And I'm just going to dehydrate them. I've got a few in my bedroom there because when we get into the bread making and stuff, or cake or whatever, I'm just going to use that for zucchini cakes and stuff. Zucchini bread, zucchini cake. Easy enough to hydrate them or whatever. I don't need broccoli. I don't need cauliflower. I don't need cabbage. I don't need red onions. I don't need green onions. My green onions that grow in my little grow room taste 10 times, 100 times better than what comes from the grocery stores. Oh yeah, big, big difference. Much pronounced in terms of the onion flavor. Yeah. Okay, so now I was thinking of adding some Cajun spice. Right? Why not? What else would be good with that? I don't know about these jalapenos, right? And in terms of the rosemary, that one would be good to put in a little sieve and cook with versus, well, I could add a little bit in here, but I pulled down a spaghetti spice, which I don't see now. Jeez. It has rosemary in it because I can taste it. Yeah, right here. So it's almost like an Italian spice, right? But, whoa, I'm making a mess. And it has salt in it. Little bits of something. It's not that bad. God. So we're going to start with, oh Lord, I don't even know what I'm doing. A little over, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm spilling it everywhere, people. Oh Lordy, Lordy. I don't know. I was going to throw in half a tablespoon of like this. Sprinkle that in. Because that's not really the flavor that I'm trying to go for here. So, and there's actually a little bit on my counter, so I'll just take what's on my counter. Because I can always add in more breadcrumbs if I don't like it. To water it down, right? Oh, I gotta blow my nose. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So I really kind of want to use some of this, the Cajun spice. That's what I want to do. Right. It looks like maybe, I don't know, it's not sealed. I always like to taste a little bit. Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
What is that?
It's Cajun spice. That's what I'm...
What does it taste like?
It's a little spicy. Here.
Just put it
It has a bit of a hot spice to it.
good.
It's okay. Yeah.
I don't even taste the spice.
And then you have to taste breadcrumbs to make sure there's enough in there, right? Not tasting anything. No. So add a bit more of that. And then I just like my high seasoning salt. So I'm just going to put in a whole bunch of that. But I can't see it coming out of the... I can't see it. So I have to feel it. And then I have a little bit of a lemon pepper here, I think. Right here. Pretty sure that's what that is. I'll just put a bit of that in there. Okay, 2 pinches. So it's not extremely strong, but it's doable. Now I'll take out some of this. Plus we've got the chicken a little seasoned as well. Alright. And then I think that will be enough to start with. Just so we don't cross-contaminate. Pretty good. Those Chinese noodles, they really don't go bad. Noodles, I'm sorry. Breadcrumbs from the Asian store, they're good. So now, I am going to, what's the best way of dealing with this problem? First I want to try and freeze some uncooked. So I'm going to do it this way. And then I'm just going to bag them after they're frozen. And then when I'm ready, I'm just going to bake them in the oven. And see how that goes. So, I suppose get a spoon. Or it's going to get mucky. People pay a lot of money for this stuff. So this is mixing up pretty good. Yeah, really good actually. And if you wanted to, you could even egg it again and bread it up again. It's working pretty good. Squeeze it a bit so it grabs onto more breadcrumbs. Alright? Because that's what the kids like, are the breadcrumbs. The coating. These are pretty big pieces of chicken. These are going to be good. It would be so easy to sleep my life away. But I'm I've never been one to let depression hold me back. Because what else would it be? That's big. Look how big that is. That's big. It's like a form of depression, right? Okay. I'll probably throw a few more on there. These breadcrumbs are going a long way. Yeah. Anything left over, I'm going to do those zucchini that's in the fridge there that came from Walmart. Clean them, wash them, cut off whatever needs to be cut off. And then I'm going to egg them up, and I'm going to use what's left in this bowl if there's anything left over. Otherwise, I'll just fry them straight up as is with seasoning salt. And then this bowl is already seasoned and ready to go for something else. And I'll just put it in a bag or a jar or something and keep it handy. I don't know, these things got bigger. Got bigger. Okay. Honestly, people, it's just easier just to freeze them like this. I don't know how the hell this got bigger, but it just got bigger. Oh. Yeah, it did. I'm just going to do it like this. And I'm just going to freeze them just like this. Whatever. I don't think I'm going to do the meat tonight. After this, I think because I got that pork coming tomorrow. Makes more sense just to grind up the meat all at one time. And then the pork chops, maybe I won't. Because you never know. You order the meat and it doesn't come because they say they don't have it. And I requested no substitute. And I don't want no substitutes for the salmon. Give me my sockeye or I don't want it. Alright. So maybe I'll just cook up a couple of pork chops with this little bit of chicken and make myself some salad, throw in a potato, make some baked potato. And call it a night. Get up tomorrow and start fresh with the and cook up the zucchini that's from Walmart. And I hope I get my zucchini tomorrow that I can dehydrate. And then after that, I don't need zucchini unless I want it fresh. Otherwise, I'll be just using dehydrated zucchini for zucchini bread.
Why does
Or
why
zucchini
do
cake.
they got bigger?
I know they did. They swelled up. I don't know why. They really swelled up. They sucked up the egg. Like a lot.
No,
I noticed it too.
I think that's how chicken nuggets look like. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe
Well, they're not store-bought chicken, but these are better for you. But yeah, no, these things, like, they got bigger. But they're going to be good. Okay. These ones I'm freezing as is. And then these ones we're going to eat. And I'm going to throw in those in the oven with a couple of pork chops. I'll make salad. I'm going to call it a night. I'll do the meat one, because the other meat comes early in the morning.
Wait, isn't it supposed to come tonight?
No. I didn't want to pay $10. I only paid $6. I saved myself $4 to have it delivered tomorrow, which is fine for me.
Okay.
So, that's how much breadcrumbs we have left. And we have that much chicken for the kids and I. So we'll just put that in there. That will be more than enough.
To eat.
And
Tonight.
yeah, you can show them chicken that's going in the freezer as
Which
is.
one's going in the freezer?
Both of them. Those are for another day. I'm not cooking them in the oven. I was going to try some and then freeze them after they were cooked, but I think I just want to keep it simple. So show them. And then these ones I'm just going to put in a baking dish with some oil. And I use just enough breadcrumbs, basically. And then we've got extra breadcrumbs for something else another day. This is great. Alright. So when they're frozen, all we have to do is take them out. See, if you squeeze it up, it captures what little left for breadcrumbs. So there were no breadcrumbs left over, which is perfectly what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah. And then I'll do a couple of pork chops as well, because I don't need all that pork. I only bought it for the fatty pork to blend in, but if I get my pork tomorrow, I'll have more than enough. Okay, so there you go. Those going to get frozen. You didn't turn it off yet, right?
No.
So they're going to get frozen, and then once they're frozen, they go into a bag, stay in the freezer, and then when the kids come over, right, we can either put them in the convection oven and cook them in there, or we can cook them in the oven with a couple of baked potatoes, and they'll like it.
Maybe you can show me how to use the oven.
Yeah.
I like to know how.
Well, you need to know how.
Yeah, like if I make a pizza.
Well, that's all coming.
Yeah.
Nana's almost done doing what I'm doing. We're going to be cooking all kinds of stuff. You have to learn it now before I go completely blind.
Yeah.
Alright. So, okay, you can turn it off. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to get that pork tomorrow, because that's the way it is when you order online. Right? So what I've done is I put what Andre and I and Amari are going to eat here. It's kind of hard for Amari though, right? Because it's just everything has to be pureed, but anyway. Anyway. So I cracked 2 eggs in there, right? You can see the egg, right? We like it like this. Everybody likes it when I bread pork chops. So what I'm going to do to keep it simple on myself is I'm just going to sprinkle some on. Versus putting it on a plate and doing it that way. I'm going to do it this way. See if it's even possible. See, the thing about going blind, your body is working so hard Like your brain and your eyes and everything is working so hard just to I don't know, do shit. It's like so draining. It's so draining. Like, I'm tired. I'll make the salad. I'll wash some potatoes, poke some holes, put them in the oven. Wipe up, clean these bowls, whatever. Do the zucchini, get it frying. And then once the food is done, I'm going to eat. And I'm calling it a day. And then tomorrow, I'll get up and I'll start grinding meat. And then we'll have the meat for the lasagna. And I'm going to make patties tomorrow and freeze them. I have these little round things to make patties with. Stack and pack them. Right, I used to do that for the kids when I had kids, my own kids. Right, I still have the containers, you know. I'm hoarding containers. Like, fuck off. Like, seriously. It's always in my ear, right? Because Andre likes to eat. So if he can grab a burger, fry himself a burger, or fry me a burger and make me a burger sandwich instead of a grilled cheese sandwich, that'd be great. Right? I tell him and I show him how to cook the meat right through and, you know, put a lid on it and let it heat right through, and got to give it enough time and cook it pretty much at the right temperature. And, so, there we go. That worked out really well. And whatever's left in there will be grounded up tomorrow. Or if I get that other pork, which is better for what I want in terms of burgers and ground meat, I'll grind up that, and then those things I'll just put in a bag and maybe vacuum seal them and just put them in the freezer for another day. But if I don't get the pork, then yeah, so I basically just use seasoning salt, but I'm going to add a bit more on these. The only thing is I can't see it coming out. It's so hard to see it. I have to look for that shadowing. I don't always get it. Okay. Now, I still have breadcrumbs, uncompromised, not contaminated with anything, for something else. Right? Dinner. Hold on. I just don't have the stamina like I used to. I don't think it's because I'm 62. I realize when people get older, you know, it gets harder, but it's just a good thing I don't suffer from a lot of body pains. You know, my back is kind of getting a little achy right now because, you know, I'm being kicked off the couch, right? I'm still waiting for TeaSha to come help me with the bedroom there. But even then, I don't know. Andre Amari is bouncing around at 3 o'clock in the morning. Takes a little cat nap and then he hears you and he wakes up. Okay, so we're going to start, as I'm going about my days. Remember those? From what I can tell, they're looking pretty good. From what I can tell. I know a rotten jar when I see it, but I don't see very well. But this is not rotten. However, it was canned in March of 2014. And for whatever reason, it has its rim on. I noticed I did that with a few things. Now, whether I just forgot or what, because I knew better. Let's see if I can even open the bloody... Oh, yeah, I can open it. Now, this will be dinner, assuming that everything's okay. And from what I can tell so far, it's okay. But because the rim was on, there might be a problem, because what is the enemy? Rust. Now, it looking pretty clean before I even wipe it. Okay, so that's good. Now there is something there which could be a problem, and I'll show you because I can feel it and it's not washing off. So this is why you don't leave rims on, because they tend to speed up rust under the lid. Yeah. But it could be just on the surface. I won't know until I actually get it off. Where was it? Okay. It's a hit and miss, people. It is a hit and miss. This is where... oh my lord. I can't see with these glasses. What's new, pussycat? You can see it. I can feel it. That was under the rim. And that's exactly why you take off the rims. Or maybe it wasn't. No, it wasn't under the rim. Either or. I'm gonna pop open the lid and see what it looks like underneath. That's the only way. Oh. I don't know. I'll use a knife again. Not that I'm trying to salvage this lid, because I'm not. This one will go in the garbage. I just can't find an opener right now. It's stuck on tight, that's for sure. There was a slight... yeah, nope. I don't think so. So that's no good because it ate through. Clearly you can hear it. Oops, sorry. But if you notice, they look okay. There's nothing on top to even indicate that they're rotten. No mold, nothing. But we don't want that. So now, technically you're supposed to boil that stuff. So I will do that. Just for the sake of it. Okay, it's boiling there. You can hear it. All right. Now this is from my room. These are beans from my garden. When? 2016. Now, I had them on a shelf with a fabric hanging over the shelf so no dust or nothing can really get in there. Every now and then I go in and I always go, right, to see if anything, right? From what I can tell, I don't feel anything in terms of any little rust spots, right? Just so you can see, right? 2016. So we'll try that. Yeah. Hopefully these ones will be good. Now, beans in a can, tomatoes, leach through cans, eat through cans, and I've had beans do that before, including that last one that we just came across a couple weeks ago. I'm just saying. I find that asparagus don't necessarily hold up either, but mind you, we're getting into jars that are like, you know, getting up in age. But you don't know until, oh boy, this is on tight. I heard it. Look at that. Look at that. You don't even have that black stuff sometimes, that oxidization at the top of the lid, and you can go like this and it kind of moves around, but it's not rust. There's a difference. Nothing. From 2016, people. Oh my God. Alrighty-o. What kind of beans do we got in here? That's good. Now, the reason they look like that is because some of the water evaporated out, right? But the water line is still very high. Where am I? Right, you can see. So anytime you have things out of the water, it's going to change color a little bit, you know, because it's sitting in just, you can't even consider it air, right? It's when your water line is below half that apparently it can become a problem. But that lid, 2016, that's pretty good. Doesn't mean you can eat right out of the jar though. You still have to warm it up. Bring it to a boil, get it boiling, right? And then put on a lid, turn down the heat so it's a low boil, right? Not a high, okay? But you know, turn it down with the lid on. And boil it for 10 minutes and you're good. That's what we're having with a bunch of garlic. Oh yeah. I'm so looking. Oh, bloody things won't come out of the plate. Come on, come on. I packed them in there tight. There we go. I'm tempted to eat them now, but I can't. I have to heat them up. Oh boy, I really packed them in here, guys. I'm breaking them up. Oh boy, oh boy. Whatever. When you're hungry, you're not going to care. And now I'm going to smash up some fresh garlic. I'll put that in there. Oh, that's going to be so good. So we got homemade chicken McNuggets, breaded pork chops, baked potatoes, and I do have regular yogurt. I don't have sour cream, but I have regular yogurt, which is almost like a sour cream. So could use a bit of that on top of the baked potato with some butter. We've got the beans with fresh garlic and some salad. After I'm done that, That's it. I'm done for the kitchen. I've been cleaning up as I go. So I'll be back. Okay. Those are the asparagus. Honestly, they don't even smell bad. They don't look bad. They don't smell bad. But I'm boiling them, and these, after they're done, I'm just going to put in the compost, because anything that could be potentially of botulism is gone now. Alright. I've been boiling it for a good 10 minutes. You can clearly see that. Right? And then I'll wash the pot and everything. So here we got the beans with the garlic. Right? But you can't technically eat right out of the jar, because it has the potential of having botulism. It doesn't mean that it has it. It just means it has the potential. But if you notice, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. At least 7 years. And that lid was clean. Like, real clean. And, I don't know. That's, why you want a can, and that's why I do these videos, because... Okay, and there's a bowl of salad too. Anyway, Andre says he likes them. They're not what you buy in the store, that's for sure. They're good. It's just maybe I cooked them too much. I think so. But other than that,